What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Naruto Online. In this week's ANBU Reports, we have a new breakthrough, and it is for someone who is free, Hashirama New Year. So CN decided that Hashirama New Year wasn't quite strong enough. You know, he's definitely not like the best ninja to have early game. He even works into mid game with his insane CC. But you know, they decided to give him a little breakthrough, and it is really strong considering like how cheap this guy is. You get his 3-star for free in EN at least. And I do believe that a lot of people already have a 4-star or very close to 4-star because we've gotten several events that have given more of his fragments out. And so the people with the access to this kind of power is gonna be a little bit scary. Now you might ask, what makes him so scary? So let's go ahead and take a look at this guy's kit, cause whew, he has some crazy things. So starting with the mystery +2, for example, the chakra limiter that the mystery causes has been set to 40 instead of 60 before, and the mystery now hits 3 units in the opponent's lineup, and it causes Gracious Deity Gate Seal level 2 to the selected unit. Now keep in mind they did change the original mystery as well, so they took out the immobile. The original mystery now is it will cause Gracious Deity Gate Seal to the opponents instead of immobile. And this new debuff, Gracious Deity Seal, there's 3 different variants. There's the normal one, there's the level 2, and then there's the Y variant. So the normal one and the level 2, they're very similar, so they make it so that the units under this debuff cannot use their mystery skills. And then not only that, any damage that they take will be a guaranteed crit hit, but it's at the expense of injury rate. So injury rate will be locked to 0 when they're under this debuff. And so the injury rate, when you're doing like the damage calculations, will be locked to 0, which means that the crit rate will always do 1.5 times more damage and will negate your base injury rate. So basically it means you'll always get that crit hit, but it's always going to do 50% more damage. You can basically interpret it as 50% more damage against this unit, but you can't crit hit it. And it will last for 1 round and is irremovable and neglects immunity. The only difference between level 1 and level 2 is the level 2 lasts for 1 round, while the level 1 lasts until the end of the round. Now there is also the Y version, and the Y version is very similar. It just makes it so that instead of not being able to use mystery skills, they won't be able to use standard attacks. So it's a little bit like a irremovable blindness. The Y version is caused by the mystery, and so the Y mystery makes it suppress super armor instead of suppressing immunity to up to 3 units. It will decrease that. It will also decrease the chakra limit to 40, and then it will cause Gracious Deity Gates Seal level Y. Moving on to the standard attacks here, the +2 standard makes it attack 4 to 6 units in the opponent's lineup with a 30% damage increase, and there is also a high chance of causing knockdown and enfeeble to a unit hit. The Y version, I think it's actually way stronger because it attacks 3 to 4 units like the original one, but it guarantees that all 3 to 4 of those units will get enfeeble, and then there's a high chance of causing knockdown to a random unit hit. So pretty good. You're losing out on a little bit of damage, but you're getting enfeebled to all of them, so it's quite nice actually. When we take a look at the chases, they are very long actually. So the chases here actually are the exact same. The only difference between the +2 and the Y one is the chase +2 causes low flow, while the chase Y causes high flow, which is a very interesting choice because this means that you're going to be able to switch between them depending on your lineup needs. And I don't think we've really seen this. This is kind of a rare breakthrough. But besides all of that, the extra effects are the same. So now both chases will absorb 100 chakra, and if they're already suffering from the Gracious Deity Gate Seal, the skill will change to the chase will become enhanced and will instead cause irremovable poison and irremovable strong poison, both of which neglects immunity. I assume it's going to be for 1 round, but it doesn't actually specify here. I can definitely see a world where you don't actually want the chase because I'm not sure if it keeps the absorbing 100% chakra. The way the chase is worded would make it seem like it doesn't. It just makes it cause the irremovable poison, irremovable strong poison. But if it did keep the absorbed chakra, maybe you do want the chases. But I feel like in a lot of cases, the absorbing chakra is more useful than the actual irremovable poison and strong poison. Going on to the passives now, this is quite a big enhancement because at the beginning of every round, the +2 makes it restore the chakra limit back to 100, so this would be pretty important when you're doing Hashirama versus Hashirama fights, because if they set your chakra limit down to 40, it's going to be pretty hard to use your mysteries, and so with the +2 passive 1, Hashirama can restore that chakra limit back up to 100. Not only that, he can increase his own initiative by 2%, which is stackable up to 5%, and then all ninjas in your lineup will have all debuffs cancelled at the beginning of every round, and then be also healed for 15% of Hashirama's base ninjutsu. And then of course you also have that increased chase trigger by 1. So he's a little bit like a weaker Genma here, but it actually is probably more useful, especially when we take a look at the Y version, which does the same thing of increasing or restoring the chakra limit. But now it makes it so that he and 1 random ninjas will have all their debuffs cancelled, and then will have their chase trigger increased by 2 as opposed to 1 until the end of the round. +2 is probably still better since it just gives that chase bonus to all of your ninjas, but the Y one could have some uses for that really quick chase increase. And then finally, when we move on to his passive 2 here, this is kind of crazy. His +2 makes it so that Hashirama has level 2 immunity, makes it so that he can't get suppressed, so he's going to be almost entirely CC proof since there aren't very many irremovable CCs. Whenever Hashirama is attacked, he will also reduce his own mystery cooldown by 1 and recover 2% HP. This is going to be incredibly annoying to deal with, especially if paired with like the Y mystery. That's going to make it so that none of the opponents can use their standard attacks because they're constantly under Gracious Deity Gates. And then if you want them to have like no immunity, you can use the normal mystery +2. So it's kind of crazy that he could actually reduce his own mystery cooldown by 1. When you go over to his passive 2Y, it makes it so that Hashirama is immune to debuffs and pure ninjutsu damage. And then whenever Hashirama is attacked, he will recover 2% HP as usual. And then furthermore, when he does take pure ninjutsu damage, he recovers 20 chakra. I think the passive 2 or the +2 one definitely wins here. Like, not only you get level 2 immunity, you get your own mystery cooldown reduced by 1. I mean, if they can't even attack you, do you even need to be immune to pure ninjutsu damage because they can't hurt you? So yeah, +2 definitely wins out here. It's kind of really strong, and you can just see that the entire kit is quite well rounded. I think honestly this is one of the more balanced one of the more balanced breakthroughs. Of course, the new debuff is really strong, and it's going to be incredibly annoying because there's no way to remove these new debuffs until probably inevitably they add some ninja that does remove irremovable debuffs, or just like prevents it, like level 3 immunity. But until then, we're in a really weird state where there's just a bunch of irremovable debuffs and they just keep stacking up on you and you can't attack anymore. But yeah, that is the ANBU news for this week, guys. It was a little bit late this time. Hopefully I will get it out even earlier next time, but I kind of accidentally forgot, and so yeah, but it's still gonna be out pretty fast. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you tune back again next Wednesday to check out the next ANBU news, where hopefully there's going to be some even more insane things coming out then. And as usual, I will see you guys later. Peace out.